Thank you so much for tuning in to Secret Files. Today we're going to be covering the Baltimore Bridge crisis. Before we begin, a word of caution. Some of the footage I'm about to show may be distressing to some audiences. With that in mind, let's get straight into the heart of the matter. First up, we're going to start off with Mr. Wisdom Last. And just be advised, like he says, this is all for entertainment purposes only.
Bank accounts, the telephone, Wi-Fi. Just watch this.
U.S. warning that Chinese hackers are positioning themselves
closely
to attack critical U.S. infrastructure. Eamon Jabbers joins us from D.C. with some exclusive reporting. Eamon.
Hey there, Morgan. That's right. American officials are scrambling to make sure potential weaknesses in the software used to operate American infrastructure have not been penetrated by Chinese and Russian hostile actors. They're focusing on the threat to so-called open source software, which is developed by hobbyists and others and then put into the public domain. Software companies that make infrastructure systems often use large chunks of open source code in their programs, but the fear here is that hackers could be developing this code, releasing it to the
What a coinkadink! A couple months ago, Dallas was shut down from hackers. Communications. There was no calling the police or the firefighters. And what a coinkadink! Some people are claiming that the Russians did it. I'm just saying, stay on your toes, gang. Stay on your toes. Anything can happen at any time. Let me know what you think about these goddamn cyber attacks in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned.
Alright everyone, the Intel Ganger just released a video shedding light on what he thinks is going on with our infrastructure. Stay tuned and share your thoughts in the comments.
Coordinated. I'm going to be talking about some of the evidence coming out on this. Right now it's being framed as like a domestic extremist issue. Also, folks, I want to go into some of the blackout warnings about deep freeze and so on. This appears to be related. If you're talking about active measures, remember Soviet espionage during the Cold War. In the United States had two goals, two different assignments. One, poison the water supply. Two, destroy the electric grid. And I don't know if this relates in any way to the weird fires we've been seeing at food processing plants across the United States, but hey, it looks related.
So I bet that Inside Edition probably released this when the movie came out, but I just want to know, have you seen this yet, and what are your thoughts on it?
Oil tanker barrels ashore. Airliners fall out of the sky without warning. No one in that car! And hundreds of self-driving Teslas leave their dealerships on their own and cause havoc. It's the harrowing premise of the apocalyptic thriller Leave the World Behind, starring Julia Roberts.
We're probably in the middle of a war zone. People we know are likely dead.
America comes under a cyber attack that cripples everyday technology, leaving the nation helpless.
I can barely do anything without my cell phone and my GPS. I am a useless man.
Get this, Barack and Michelle Obama are the executive producers and helped write the chilling screenplay.
No one is in control. No one is pulling the strings.
Adding to the sense of anxiety, the identity of the enemy behind the devastating cyber attack in Leave the World Behind is never made clear. In the chaos, society breaks down overnight. Americans are soon at each other's throats. Manhattan becomes a war zone. But could it really happen? Shira Rubinoff is a cybersecurity expert.
It's not if we're going to be attacked, it's really when.
She says the Netflix movie is a warning that America's defenses against cyber attacks need to be hardened right away.
This is not sci-fi. This is not something that could happen. This is something that will happen if we don't protect ourselves in an appropriate way.
This next video is from The Conscious Emperor, and it's basically about the psychic phenomenon that we call The Simpsons.
Maybe it just collapsed on its own.
We can't take that chance.
You always say that. I want to take a chance.
Collapsed on its own. You have 72 hours.
Up next, Notice News just released a critical video featuring the President of the United States.
We are not seeking direct confrontation with Russia, though I've been clear that if Russia targets Americans in Ukraine, we will respond forcefully. And if Russia attacks the United States or our allies through asymmetric means, like disruptive cyber attacks against our companies or critical infrastructure, we are prepared to respond. But we're moving in lockstep with our NATO allies and partners to deepen our collective defense against threats in cyberspace.
Now onto the most thought-provoking video of the compilation. This one is by the Appalachian Prepper, and I'm Now onto the most thought-provoking video of the compilation. This one is by the Appalachian Prepper, and I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Don't hold back in the comments. Let me know.
That PRC hackers are targeting our critical infrastructure, our water treatment plants, our electrical grid, our oil and natural gas pipelines, our transportation systems, and the risk that poses to every American requires our attention now.
Now listen to what he has to say about the tactics behind these cyber attacks.
They're not focused just on political and military targets. We can see from where they position themselves across civilian infrastructure that low blows aren't just a possibility in the event of a conflict. Low blows against civilians are part of China's plan.
The plan is to target the civilian infrastructure. How do you think this is going to play out for American citizens?
China's hackers are positioning on American infrastructure in preparation to wreak havoc and cause real-world harm to American citizens and communities if and when China decides the time has come to strike.
There it is, folks. Share this with every single person you know. The time to be prepared is now. AP out.
These next videos are covering breaking news from different corners of the world, from the makers of the conservative carry, Pablo Hemont, I hope I said that name right, The Matrix Farms, and Burn Report. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
Into our logistical systems, the information collected could then be weaponized if the U.S. and China were to become engaged directly in the Pacific. According to reporting from the Washington Post citing multiple U.S. and industry security officials, China's cyber army is invading critical U.S. services, like an attempt to break into the system behind Texas's independent power grid. Other victims include a water utility in Hawaii, a West Coast port, and at least one oil and gas pipeline, according to that report you're seeing there. Brendan Wells, executive director of the Department of Homeland Security's cybersecurity agency, told the Washington Post this, quote, "It is very clear that Chinese attempts to compromise critical infrastructure are in part to pre-position themselves to be able to disrupt or destroy that critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict, to either prevent the United States from being able to project power into Asia or to cause societal chaos inside the United States to affect our decision-making around a crisis." The report notes that over the past year, hackers affiliated with the People's Liberation Army in China have accessed the computer systems of about 24 critical entities.
Oh my God, the Pentagon is under attack. America is under attack right now. And this has been confirmed by a number of live news networks. Check it out.
But what we can see is that there are reports of an explosion, and there's a picture, of course, suggesting the same right now. Explosion reported near Pentagon, of course.
Large and verified accounts on Twitter are all reporting that this is breaking news, explosion near the Pentagon. United States is under attack. Is this another 911? Again, as America goes into mourning. Of course, the stock market has just opened and is gapped down, with more losses to come if more attacks on other government buildings are verified. Okay, I'm not going to screw with you guys anymore, because this is actually what happened this morning, right? A tweet about the Pentagon explosion. It was fake. The pictures were generated by AI. AI, of course, once again, right? But it still went viral anyway. Why? Well, it's because AI can generate some really realistic looking pictures, you say, like that Trump getting arrested the other day. You know, it just looked real. People all clicked into it. But the real issue here, at least this time, is due to verified Twitter accounts spreading this hoax. And what happens is now you can buy a blue tick next to your name and get verified on Twitter. Say, because Elon bought Twitter and now they're losing money hard, then anybody can just buy a blue tick. Well, you know, anybody who's not Pablo He-Man who just now can buy a tick because, you know, Pablo was the original OG. Like, you know, this dude just bought his own little blue tick. What's that? He's got 86 million followers. Okay, maybe that one's the real account. Okay. Or like this guy, you know, he's bought his own. That's a gray tick. Well, that one must be real as well, 31 million followers. So apparently the legacy ticks are now becoming, like the real old OGs are becoming gray ticks. And of the blue ticks that are now on Twitter, you can't really tell which ones are real and which ones are just bought. So that's the problem. So if they start spreading information that's a hoax or that's not true, and people just believe in them. Okay, but seriously though, I do think that it is also due to how realistic AI can be in fooling human minds. So let me do a test on you guys. This is an article from the Wall Street Journal. Or is it? Which says Jeffrey Epstein appeared to threaten Bill Gates over Microsoft co-founder's affair with a Russian bridge player. Is it a KGB spy? Could this be real? Let me show you some photographic evidence. Okay, and here we can see Bill Gates pictured with Jeffrey Epstein, the famous Jeffrey Epstein. And here is Bill Gates famous pictured with the Russian bridge player. Is she a KGB agent? Is this a real story or fake? Let me know. Oh my God, the Pentagon is under attack. America is under attack right now. And this has been confirmed by a number of live news networks. Check it out.
But what we can see is that there are reports of an explosion, and there's a picture, of course, suggesting the same right now. Explosion reported near Pentagon, of course.
Large and verified accounts on Twitter are all reporting that this is breaking news, explosion near the Pentagon. United States is under attack. Is this another 911? Again, as America goes into mourning. Of course, the stock market has just opened and is gapped down with more losses to come if more attacks on other government buildings are verified. Okay, I'm not going to screw with you guys anymore because this is actually what happened this morning, right? A tweet about the Pentagon explosion. It was fake. The pictures were generated by AI. AI, of course, once again, right? But it still went viral anyway. Why? Well, it's because AI can generate some really realistic looking pictures, you say, like that Trump getting arrested the other day. You know, it just looked real. People all clicked into it. But the real issue here, at least this time, is due to verified Twitter accounts spreading this hoax. And what happens is now you can buy a blue tick next to your name and get verified on Twitter. Say, because Elon bought Twitter and now they're losing money hard.
Breaking news coming out of Texas. An explosion at a dairy farm has killed nearly 20,000 cows, dairy cows, critically injuring one person. You can see right up there the smoke billowing into the sky. This is a news story happening today. The officials, they do not know the exact cause of this fire. It happened yesterday, but the smoke is still billowing. They're putting out hot spots. Once again, 20,000 cows, dairy cows, have been killed. They're trying to learn exactly what caused this. I'm Dave Bondi, no longer work in the mainstream media, but I'm still giving you the news. I'm just giving you the information as it is. No bias, no narrative.
Now, I know y'all are gonna know who this is when you hear his voice, but in case you somehow don't, this next video is by Philip DeFranco. Let's see what he's got to say.
China has planted malware inside of networks controlling power grids, communication systems, and water supplies that feed U.S. military bases all around the world. Now the U.S. is hunting for it in a panic under the belief that China could activate the code to disrupt the U.S. military in the event of a conflict or when China makes a move on Taiwan, with one official calling it a ticking time bomb. And if China were to use the malware, it wouldn't just affect the bases. It would also affect everyday Americans as domestic U.S. bases use the same infrastructure. Follow to stay in the loop. China has planted malware inside of networks controlling power grids, communication systems, and water supplies that feed U.S. military bases.
Now for the Baltimore Bridge. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, but first let's check out these videos created by Tactical Ghost and Nyesa Rodriguez.
You have got to be kidding me. Watch this. It literally turns directly into the pole. It turned directly into the bridge. You can't tell me that did not turn directly into the bridge.
Next up, the conservative Merc is showing us another Simpsons throwback. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's see what it's got to say this time.
EMP? You know what that means.
Hand scissors.
Reed Ether is speaking the truth. Let's hear what she's got to say because, in my opinion, the most messed up part of all of this is Americans being left in the dark and literally not being able to talk to each other about what's going on. So let's continue this conversation.
Oh my goodness, family. How come they not letting nobody know any information about what's going on right now? So, family, tell me why I made a YouTube video, right? A YouTube video talking about these cyber attacks, right? That happened all across the U.S. And guess what they hit me with? Partially blocked. Now, why? Why is it partially blocked? They said copyright issues, right? Which is a lie. And family, look, this is what got me, though. They partially blocked it from, like, certain viewers, right? So that certain kind of people wouldn't be able to see this video on YouTube. Guess who they partially blocked from seeing my video? Russia. YouTube partially blocked my video and said that the viewers who were restricted from seeing my video is Russia. So with that being said, family, all I was talking about in that video that they decided to partially block, I was just talking about the cyber attacks that have happened all throughout the U.S., y'all. And this is very recent, okay? The latest update of the story happened yesterday, okay? 250 high security infrastructures in the U.S. got infiltrated, got cyber attacked, right? Now, this is the thing they're not telling a lot of people. The attacks that they said is happening, right, is ransomware. Ooh, and for those of you who know about hacking and ransomware, oh, it's a wrap. Family, when I tell y'all that I'm talking about different states, each city in these different states, when it comes to the files of the what's happening with the police, the courts, any type of legal documentation that's on file, it has been infiltrated, right? And you cannot receive or you cannot retrieve any of those files back unless you have a key. And guess who got the key? The same person or the same entity that hacked into their damn system. So right now, y'all, like the U.S. is under attack. Or what if that's what they're trying to make it seem like? Because family, y'all know how I think? Y'all know how I think. Coincidentally, we get a cyber attack in the U.S. 250 infrastructures get attacked at one time. And they said that we having all these glitches, all these technical issues we having with our electronics. Everything that we having going wrong with technology, they're blaming it right now on these cyber attacks, right? But I personally believe, y'all, that it's the mass corona ejections from the sun. I believe that the sun, the solar flares, and that plasma energy is hitting this atmosphere and it's breaking down the energy grid. I also believe another reason why they're going to say, okay, we being cyber attacked globally all over the U.S. is because they have to, in order for them to bring in another system that they want you to be a part of, they have to get rid of the old one. I got so many different reasons why I feel like this, but oh yeah, it's happening. Oh my goodness, family. How come they not letting nobody know any information about what's going on right now? So family, tell me why I made a YouTube video, right? A YouTube video talking about these cyber attacks, right? That happened all across the U.S. And guess what they hit me with? Partially blocked. Now why? Why is it partially blocked? They said copyright issues, right? Which is a lie. And family, look, this is what got me though. They partially blocked it.
When even Kevin O'Leary is starting to talk about this, you know something is up. Thanks so much to Bama Girl for recording this one.
Process, and we have property rights. It attracts foreign capital from all around the world. All of that is being shaken to the core here. The concept of seizing assets in 30 days on a bond number that's never been issued. No insurance bond company's ever issued anything near this, so there was no chance it was going to happen. And only giving 30 days notice and time, that's a really bad message. And I think New Yorkers should think well past Trump. Whether he's president or not, or whether this attorney general is gone in 4 years or not, it's irrelevant. This is case setting against the American brand. The most stable country on earth, anywhere, to put capital to work over a long period of time, particularly in real estate, is the United States of America. This is an assault on what we believe to be core. And I find it extraordinary. I think it's very troubling. It has absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump at this point, in my view, and it is completely bipartisan. This is an attack on America. And I don't know how you can look at it any other way. And as an investor, and I know plenty of investors who are completely disturbed by this, but I mean, no one is going to put any money to work in New York in these amounts until this thing settles down. The whole world is watching, and everybody's waiting for one thing we haven't got yet: adult supervision. Where is it? Where are the adults in this crazy narrative? Certainly there's got to be adult supervision at some point. And I understand, you know, the war going on here and all the political, yada, yada, woof, woof, woof. But we need an adult in the room now. This is the United States of America under siege.
One more video. This one's from the Daily Mail.
Baltimore collapsed when it was struck by a cargo ship. At least a dozen cars plunged into the 47-degree Patapsco River, along with a dozen or so construction workers who were on the bridge at the time. There appeared to be an explosion on the container ship as it collided with the bridge, sending containers and diesel flooding into the water. Rescue services are currently working to save as many people as possible.
Let's keep the conversation going. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section, and if you're eager for any more ongoing news and discussions like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because together we'll work towards a brighter world. Stay safe out there.